There'll be two videos for class today, kind of talking about, the first one will be how we're going to score, where we want to score on the assessment, talking through this scale, and then also the Pythagorean theorem. And then the second video will cover the converse and whether or not a particular set of values will create a triangle or not. So the first part here, we want to talk about just the scale. There are, underneath the scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 questions. If you can do 3 of these questions, that's how you're going to get your level 1. Okay, if you are going to be able to do 4 of these questions, that's how you're going to get your level 2. And if you can do all 6 of the questions, that's how you're going to get your level 3. Okay, now there's a little caveat below here, and we had talked about this on day 1 of this standard. If the answers are not simplified correctly and have work shown for the correct simplification, then the max score you can get is a 2.5. So when we do the simplification of our radicals, if you're okay with that and you're okay showing your work, then you can easily get that level 3. If you're not, and you could even give a decimal answer if you wanted to, if that wasn't something that you were comfortable with, but the best score you can get is a 2.5. Okay, then in our level 4 is simply, can you determine if a triangle, the 3 lengths given is a triangle or not a triangle? So the last one, level 4, is just, can you pick out the triangle, the 3 lengths that actually don't make a triangle? So in our review for today, I'm going to point out exactly which question kind of goes with these 6 things and which question is going to be that level 4 question. So for the first 6 options, these first 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, are the first 4 questions on the review. So these first 4 options are the first 4 questions on the review. If you can do all 4 of those questions, you're already at a level 2. If there's one of them that you happen to miss, then you would be at a level 1. Okay, so if we're looking at the review from today, the first 2 questions are integer side lengths. So here I'm trying to find a hypotenuse with integer side lengths. Here I'm trying to find a leg with integer side lengths. So that's 2 separate pieces of the scale that's shown. For our first example here, we're going to do across from the 90. We're going to put that x first. So here we go, x squared is equal to 12 squared plus 9 squared. And then I'm going to grab my calculator and type in that 12 squared plus 9 squared. So that's 225. So x squared equals 225. Now you might think for 225, you need to bring that over here and break it down. But 225 is actually a perfect square. So when we square root both sides, if I square root 225, it comes out to be a whole number 15. So my answer for x is the number 15. So I did not have to break that one down and try to simplify that radical. Okay, let's go over to the second question. This time, instead of starting with the y or the variable, I'm going to start with the number 12 because it's across from the 90. So 12 squared is equal to 8 squared plus y squared. 12 squared is 144. 8 squared is 64. And now I'll subtract. So I have 80 is equal to y squared, and I'm going to square root 80. That is a number that I have to bring over to the side here and break down, because 81 is a perfect square, but not 80. So 80 is what I'm breaking down. So it's 1 and 80, 2 and 40. 80 divided by 3 doesn't work, so I don't write that one down. 80 divided by 4 is 20. 80 divided by 5 is 16, and right there I have found my perfect square, 16. So I can stop. Even though there's more factors of 80, I can stop once I have found that perfect square. So 16 is my perfect square. Kind of ran out of space, so I'll write it over here. We'll go 16 and 5, which breaks down to 4 radical 5. Okay, so those are the first two types. If you can do these two, it still doesn't get us a 1 on the assessment. We have to be able to do 3 questions correctly. So we have to add in one of these 2 types down here in order to count it as a 1 and pass the assessment. Okay, so we're going to do this next one. Same setup. We're going to start across from the 90, 4 squared is equal to the square root of 7 squared plus x squared. 16 is equal to the square root of 7 squared. Those cancel, and that's just 7 plus x squared. I'll subtract the 7 from both sides. 16 minus 7 is 9, which is lucky us. Comes out to be a nice perfect square number. The square root of 9 is 3. And there's my answer. Okay, so if we get to that point, already we have a 1. If we can add in one more question, that's how we get to a 2. Okay. Across from the 90 is our x. So we'll start with x squared is equal to 2 radical 2 squared plus 2 squared. Okay, if you're at home or if you don't have a calculator in front of you, your cell phone especially will not be great at multiplying this radical times itself. So I'll do that over here. 2 radical 2 times 2 radical 2. If you are somewhere that has a calculator, feel free to go ahead and type it in and see if you get the same number I do. 2 times 2 is 4. Radical 2 times radical 2 is just the number 2. So 4 times 2 is 8. So when I square that, I get 8 plus 2 squared is 4. And that's my x squared. I'll put those together to get 12. And 12 is the number that I have to simplify under the square root. So that's another one. I'm going to bring that over to the side. I'm going to do my t. The number 12 breaks up into 1 and 12. Don't need to write that down. 2 and 6. Not a perfect square there. 3 and 4. There it is. There's my perfect square, the number 4. So I'm going to write the 4 first, and then the 3. So that number goes first. And so that simplifies to 2 radical 3, and that's my answer. Okay, so this video will stop there, but if you need help with the second half, go ahead and check your email for the second video.